coming back to you with another video on my birthday. I turned 37 years old today, and funny story, this is actually gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. This is kind of embarrassing, but I'm not even kidding. Up until the last 3 months or so, I thought I was 37 years old all year long. Has that happened to anybody else? Am I the only lunatic? Like, I literally thought I was 37 all year long, and then I did the math and I was like, holy crap, I'm 36. So essentially in my books, I get a free year. It's like I had a free year. So I just turned 37. So yeah, I just wanted to share that fun little fact of how much of an idiot I am sometimes. But man, today's a really good day. Today's my birthday, and I turned 37 years old. And in today's video, I wanted to reflect. I took about 10-15 minutes and reflected on 10 business lessons that I've learned over the last decade being in business. Okay, I started my business reselling, man, 2012. Yeah, 2012. 2013 is when I first started posting videos on YouTube, going to thrift stores, flipping bicycles, so on and so forth. And did that for a couple of years, went into eBay full time. Hey, Amanda, thank you so much for the love. Appreciate it. Sold clothing for about 4 or 5 years full time, was doing 5 to 7, 8 grand a month. Then went into Amazon, and, you know, along this journey, I've done a lot of different things, from coaching to having membership sites, affiliate marketing, you know, Amazon Kindle books, Amazon influencer, creating my own coaching program, so on and so forth. So, you know, I've gone from literally being broke when I first started at 26, 27 years old, you know, to now being a millionaire. And I don't share that to impress you, but, you know, to impress upon you, I've come from nothing. I didn't have anyone giving me money. I didn't have credit. I didn't have any capital at all. I literally started from nothing, and built up a pretty cool business. So I want to share 10 business lessons that I've learned over the last 12 years. Okay, so let's get right into it. And thanks everybody for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. And I'd recommend to watch this video in full, because you're going to get some pretty good tips to help you on your journey, regardless if you're new or if you've been in business for 5 years. Hey, thanks, Amanda. Or if you've been in business for, you know, 10 to 20 years. So let's get right into it. Number one, and I've got a whole bunch of notes here. Okay, so you know me, I got to have my notes. Okay, lesson 1 of 10. You get rewarded for the focused hard work that you put in. Very rarely over the last 12 years have I ever failed at achieving a goal if I put in focused hard work and didn't give up. Okay, so essentially what that means to me is, and this is kind of how I was thinking about things, like if I have a goal, or if you have a goal, very rarely do we fail if we actually focus on a specific goal and say, this is our goal, you know? And you don't have to have a crazy goal of like, oh, I want to do 50,000 a month on Amazon, but have a goal. I want to sell $1,000 my first month, and have that goal and work hard towards it and don't give up. And then when you hit that goal, you set a little bigger one, a little bigger. You go to 2,000 a month, 5,000, 10,000. Very rarely do we fail if we actually put the work in. The times that I've failed in various, you know, parts of my business over the years is when I kind of dabble in it. I don't go all in. I don't really focus on what, you know, I want to achieve. I don't really have a clear goal. So the lesson is, have a goal, focus on it, set small goals at first, and this is just my personal preference, and then put in the hard work. Number 2, stop telling people what you're going to do and just grind in silence. 99% of people in your life don't care if you succeed or fail. I know that's a tough pill to swallow. At the end of the day, most people that you tell your goals and dreams to, they don't really care. Like, they do, they want to see you do well, but they're concerned with their own life. They're concerned with their own problems. They're concerned with raising their kids, paying their bills, their health issues, so on and so forth. So the lesson that I've learned, and again, I'm not trying to put this on you guys, I'm just sharing my lessons. Focus on taking action and moving forward and being a positive role model. You have to succeed for yourself at first and foremost, okay? So what I mean by that is, you don't want to succeed and like I've had this happen in the past where it's like I have this goal of like losing weight or building my business or making a certain amount of money because I want to make my dad proud, or I want to show off to friends, or I want to get a car. But at the end of the day, none of that really matters. You have to do it for yourself, because the money is great, but what really matters at the end of the day is the person that you become. When you achieve a goal, you have to grow as a person. You never achieve a goal without growing. You have to go through challenges, and you're going to hit roadblocks, and you become stronger, and you become the person you need to become. Like, you can't make $10,000 a month if you don't become that person. You're not going to make 20,000 a month, 30, 50, 100 if you don't become that type of person, right? So in order to achieve a result, you have to become a certain type of person. A lot of times we like to talk and tell people what we're going to do, and, show people our vision boards, which are, and our goals and all that, and say we're going to do this. And then we get mad if they doubt us. None of that really matters. Stop telling everybody what you're going to do and grind in silence. Okay. Number 3, and this is another tough pill to swallow, but it's been true in my life. Motivation will only last for so long. When you start a new business or you have a new goal, whether it's, starting an Amazon business or starting a YouTube channel, so on and so forth, it's really easy to be motivated in the beginning. Who can relate? Drop a comment if you started a new business and you're so freaking excited. But the reality is that motivation is going to dwindle very quickly. It's important that you have a major reason, okay? A burning desire inside to want to succeed. That's why before you ever start a business, you should be writing down all the reasons why you want to succeed. Maybe it's the freedom you want, or maybe, part of it is you want to make your friends and family proud. There's nothing wrong with that. It just shouldn't be the only reason. Maybe it's because you want to grow as a person. You want to support your family. Maybe you want to quit your job. Maybe you want to be the first person in your family to, buy your own house. I don't know what it is, but you have to have that reason inside, because motivation is short-lived. And essentially what you need to do is use that burning desire to build the habits and systems into your life. And that short-term motivation should turn into discipline. Okay. It all comes down to discipline, but you can't build discipline without going through the motions of listing on a regular basis, sourcing on a regular basis, doing your numbers, just going through the motions of things. And that's why you want to have a plan, but that's how you build discipline over and over and over again. I tell you, when I'm consistently, and I don't list anymore because I have a prep center, although I have been the last week because I've been dealing with a lot of returns and stranded inventory that came back to me, but that's another story. But it's funny how, if you haven't listed in a long time, it's really, really hard to list. But once you get into the groove and the habit, and you do it week in and week out, and for 5 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, you become a robot. It becomes easy. You've built discipline. You've built a habit. So don't rely on motivation, rely on your habits, and that will turn into discipline. Step number 4. The fourth thing that I've learned, and some of these things are a little negative, but I'll tell you, sometimes you have to address these negative things. Stop taking advice from others who don't have the results you want. Let me repeat myself. Stop taking advice from other people who don't have the results you want. Listen to people who have achieved what you want, or else you're going to end up doubting yourself or doing things that don't help you to grow. Drop a 1 in the comments down below if you have people in your life, or of people on YouTube or gurus, and it's they're full of baloney, right? And they talk and they talk and they talk and they give you advice and they tell you what to do. And it's there's no way in the world this person is getting the results I want. This happens very often. You've got to be very careful. Your mind is a garden. And if you don't take care of it, you're going to allow all these weeds to grow and blind you. Stop taking advice from others who don't have the results you want. I'm not telling you to be rude, but be very careful. If you listen to the wrong YouTubers, the wrong influencers, if you let your parents, I hate to say it, I love my parents. My parents are great. But if I would have taken their advice in terms of investing in index funds, investing in real estate, things that have really exploded my net worth over the last decade, if I took their advice, I'd have no real estate, I'd have no index funds. Matter of fact, I'd probably have no business. I'd just be working at a job. And while there's nothing wrong with working at a job, I'm my own person, and I have my own goals and ambitions and dreams. And I've learned from other people who have the results I want by reading books and, listening to YouTube videos and, like finding people who could help me to get to where I want. Okay, so that's a big one. Number 5, and this is something a lot of you guys have to work on. I know, because I coach and I work with a lot of you guys. You've got to know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you're not going to really be able to grow. You're in for a rude awakening. You have to know your numbers. Focus on the numbers in your business and get a good understanding of what's really happening under the hood, okay? You have to have visibility with your numbers, because a lot of times people will just focus on maybe sales, right? They'll just focus on sales, but there's 10 to 20 other numbers underneath the hood that lead to those sales. Or your profit, right? You might just look at your profit. It's great to know what your profit is, but there's a ton of different KPIs, key performance indicators, that lead to that, right? What's your conversion rate? What's your refund rate? How many items are you listing? How many items are getting returned? What's your average selling price? You have to know your numbers, okay? So for me, investing in a team to help me with this has been huge. And I'm going to talk more about that. But I have, 3 bookkeepers on my team that focus on different things in my business. I've got a CPA. So, you don't have to be an expert with spreadsheets and numbers, and you don't have to necessarily know how to, do all the formulas and all that, but you have to know what it is you want to see, and then get people to help you to gather those numbers for you. So a big part of my business is knowing my numbers, and that doesn't only pertain to your Amazon business, but I track all my Amazon KPIs. I track all of my expenses in my personal life. So I could literally tell you right now, I could open up a spreadsheet and tell you how much I'm spending every month on food, on on utilities, on entertainment, on clothing. I track it all. I track all my personal expenses and what I'm spending, and I track all of my business expenses. I track all of my income, and then I have KPIs for all of those, not for like really personal stuff. I just track it all. But if you want to change, your results, you have to change the input. How do you change the input? By looking at all your different numbers. All the different numbers play a role in the result, and that final number that you're concerned with, which is, like in business, your total profit. If you want to change that number, you have to change all the little things that lead into it. Now, speaking of change, number 6, in business, and I've learned this over the last decade, sometimes you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to adjust plans. You have to be flexible with your business. Very rarely did my initial plans in my business get me to where I wanted to be. And this is an evolution, right? I'm always trying to take time to think about, where am I? What are the things that I like? What are the things I don't like? What are the things that are working? What are the things that are not working? And this is different for everybody, because we all have different goals and dreams and personalities and finances, so on and so forth. But where I see a lot of people get in trouble is they set a goal, they have a vision, and it's like they're a robot. And that's great, again, because I love building habits and disciplines and systems and processes. But sometimes things don't work out, or you're unhappy, or you're not getting the results you want. You have to be willing to change plans and be flexible. Number 7, most people want to see you succeed. This is going to be a tough one. Most people, and I notice this on YouTube a lot, in social media, and this is why sometimes I think, like, should I keep doing social media? Most people want to see you succeed, but they don't want to see you do better than them. Ooh, most people want to see you succeed, but they don't want to see you do better than them. Don't hesitate to kick people out of your life who make you feel bad for growing, building, changing plans, adjusting, and becoming successful for you. Again, my definition of success may be completely different than you. I remember I dated a girl years ago, and I was really growing and evolving and making a lot of changes, and she made me feel so bad about myself for growing and made it all about her. And she was the ultimate manipulator, and I learned a lot from that relationship. And now I'm in a really healthy relationship where I don't have to feel like that. You want to get around people who want to see you succeed and want to see you grow. But the unfortunate thing is, many of these people will try to take you down a notch to make themselves feel better, okay? And I see this all the time on social media. It's really unfortunate, I'm not perfect, I'm growing. I'm a human being like everybody else. And, I go through my struggles and I'll share my wins and losses. And it's really sad how many people want to take you down and make nasty comments and make you feel bad and be like super duper sarcastic to make you try to feel bad about yourself. And the reality is, kick these people out of your life, block these people. Life is too short. You don't want to be running a popularity contest. And in the past, I always, I wanted to make everybody happy. I wanted to make everybody like me, so on and so forth. But the reality is now, it's like, if there's nothing wrong with constructive criticism and really good, harsh feedback, but some people are just really nasty, and you could tell they're hurting. They don't like to see you doing well. They don't like to see you succeeding. They think everything's a scam. They think you're trying to sell them this and that, so on and so forth. And it's like, listen, kick these people out of your life. Life is way too short. Focus on the people that you can help. Focus on the people that you can serve. Spend time with the people who want to see you grow, and you're going to be that much happier. The times that I spent trying to change people and explain myself, it just causes a lot of problems and, like, seriously, mental health issue. Tell these people to go kick rocks. Number 8, you have to balance working hard and taking action with slowing down and taking time to learn new things. Let me say that again. You have to take time. No, let me say it like this. You have to balance working hard in your business and taking action with also slowing down and taking time to learn new things. Taking time to assess how things are going in your business and thinking about your next move. So many times we get kind of stuck in the rat race of just working, and we never really take times to assess like how things are going, right? We get comfortable doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes in business, you have to take 2 to 3 steps back in order to take 5 steps forward. And an example of this over the last, 4 or 5 months, for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been listing all my own items, having everything shipped to my house, prepping it, listing it, having employees come over, having a huge mess on my front steps of 50, 60 packages a day at times showing up. And I was so comfortable in my process. And I said to myself, you know what? It got to the point where it's like it was kind of disrupting my life, and it was a mess, and the girlfriend wasn't happy and I wasn't happy, and I didn't want employees coming over and a mess in my garage. And I'm like, man, I got to change things. And I took a leap of faith, and I had to take 2 or 3 steps back to slow down, set up a prep center. And then there were issues with that and challenges, and sales kind of dipped because I was transitioning. But now I'm 5 steps forward. I'm 5 steps ahead. I'm so much happier. I work like 60% less in my Amazon business because I took 2 to 3 steps back to set that up and take a risk, and I was scared, and now I'm 5 steps forward. So hopefully that makes sense. Number 9, focus on your strengths in business. Stop buying into the lie that you have to do everything in your own business. Focus on what you're good at and slowly build a solid team to help support you. This is important for growing your business, but also for keeping your sanity and mental health in your life. So many times we're taught, and society always says this as well, if you want a job done right, do it yourself. And I see this so often in the reselling community and the Amazon space. You see these resellers who are, they look unhealthy. You can tell they're not happy. They're working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. And there's nothing wrong with that in the beginning. But you see people after 6, 7, 8, 9 years, and it's just like, is this really what you signed up for? Didn't you want to build a business? You just created a job for yourself. And if you love that, then I ain't talking to you. Because if you're happy, who gives a damn what I say or anybody has to say? If you're happy and you love what you're doing, don't change anything. But I see a lot of people who are kind of stressed out, and they're anxious, and they're stuck at home, and they're looking like Elon Musk, right? They're not getting out under the sun. And the reality is, you have to learn to delegate. You have to learn to focus on what you're really good at and what really moves the business forward, and outsource everything else. And this is a slow process, hiring a virtual assistant to source or fix stranded inventory, so on and so forth. It's not an easy job. It could take 3, 6, 9, 12 months, 18 months to really train someone and hire somebody. And again, that's a great example of taking 2 to 3 steps back, but to give yourself 10 steps forward in a year from now. So that's been a big learning lesson for me. And I think this is something I've done really well over the years, is building a team focusing on what I'm really good at, because there's only so much time in the day. And for me personally, I don't want to be working all day. I want to get outside. After this video, I'm going to go on an hour walk, at the park. And, I enjoy getting outside and cycling and riding my bike and hiking. And, I don't want to be working all day long. So the only way to continue getting the results in your business and or growing without spending so much time is you have to build systems and processes and get people on your team to help. And then last but not least, number 10, you have to be willing to plant seeds in your business and slowly water, nurture, and take care of those seeds and watch them grow. For me, I've done this many times in my business, whether it's investing in index funds, transitioning from thrifting to eBay to Amazon, investing in real estate properties, affiliate marketing, building my own courses, membership sites, so on and so forth. A lot of times in business, you're going to invest time, money, and resources, and you're not going to get anything. You're going to start a YouTube channel. You're going to hire a virtual assistant. You're going to start an Amazon business, and you're not going to be making money. You might be losing money. You might be wasting a lot of time. You might not be, again, you're taking 5 steps back and you're like, what am I doing this for? But you have to understand in business, it's all about planting seeds, watering, nurturing, taking care of them, and then growing it into something that, you could reap a harvest from, essentially, if that's the best way to say it. So, in my business over the years, and this is just my personality, I like having multiple streams of income. I don't like to have, Amazon controlling my fate. If I get kicked off Amazon, it would suck, but I have other income streams. If, any of my affiliate marketing ventures went down, then I have others, right? I don't know how to say it, but for me personally, I don't want my hands in any one business. If that goes down, I have courses or coaching or a YouTube channel. Like lately, my YouTube channel, it's almost like they're like blacklisting my channel. It's really weird. I've noticed in the last year and a half, 2 years, all my income has gone up like crazy in my Amazon business. What I've learned has gone up. I would say the content I'm sharing is more and more valuable, but my views keep going down. It's really weird. And I don't know what it is, but YouTube used to be a pretty good income stream for me. Now it's really not, but I'm fine with it because I have other income streams. I've planted other seeds and it's perfectly fine. Whereas if YouTube was my only business and I didn't have Amazon and reselling and all these other things, I might be in a little bit of a panic. So for me, I've really enjoyed, and it's a big, it's an important lesson, plant seeds for tomorrow, okay? Things might be going well today, but things always change. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, as Steve would say. And when you start making money, plant your seeds in the index funds, plant your seeds in a rental property, or plant your seeds in maybe starting your YouTube channel, knowing that YouTube channel could help you to build a brand, which could bring in sponsorships, or it could bring in ad revenue, or it could bring in maybe a membership site that you create, or that could lead you to a relationship that you build and get into a partnership with a software. You don't know what could come about with these seeds that you plant. You want to plant your seeds when things are going well. You don't want to plant your seeds when ish is hitting the fan, because then you're gonna try to rush the seed, and you're gonna overwater it, and you're gonna destroy that seed that could then germinate and turn into a plant. So plant your seeds when things are well. Some people are all about going in with one thing and focus on one thing, and focus is very important, but once you kind of grow a tree, and you build systems, and the roots are in the ground, and it's a lot of times a tree is going to grow without there's not much you're going to have to do. Once you put all the systems in place, you can kind of manage that, and it depends. Some people want to go all in and build a huge Amazon tree. I don't want to. I want to kind of manage it and slowly grow it. And I know Amazon's not my friend. They could chop the tree down anytime. So when I get something up and going, and finally, after putting 6, 12, 18 months in, I like to plant other seeds and get other things going on. It's kind of like a table. If you think of a table, it's got 4 legs. If you knock down one leg, the table's still going to be up. You can knock down another. Yeah, it would fall down, but it's still going to be up a little bit. You have to knock down all 4 legs to get destroyed. And that's how I look at it in my financial business. I want to have multiple legs. I want to have 8 legs. I want to have 10 legs. And, you can't grow everything at the same time, but, that's just what I've done. I have multiple income streams. Some income streams, like YouTube, only makes like $1,000 a month now because my channel doesn't get any views. It's really weird. I've become more valuable. I've created better content, but the views go down. It's really odd to me, but that's fine. I have, you know, affiliate marketing income streams that can make $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month. You know, I have courses, I have rental properties that make a couple $1,000s a month. I have index funds that, you know, spit off dividends. You know, Amazon influencer, that's, you know, it's been around like $500 to $700 a month right now. Kindle publishing, $500 to $700. I mean, I have all these different income streams that I've built over the years. I don't have anything that's getting me rich, but you know, for me, it's worked out really, really well. I've become a millionaire doing things like this, and you know, hopefully these lessons kind of help. You know, I'm just kind of spitballing, but just sharing some lessons. Some other big lessons has been put your health over your wealth, something I've struggled with, but I've been getting back on track the last 4 or 5 months, down about 20 pounds or so. Take time to relax and have fun. You know, sometimes overworking yourself can, you know, really crush your goals and dreams. So take time to relax, have fun, get away, reset, recalibrate. And sometimes it's not how hard you work on your business that matters most, but what you're focused on. Some opportunities, like think of a building. Some buildings are only 3 stories tall. If you put a ladder up against that, you could get to the 3rd story, right? But that's only a 3rd story building. That's a 3rd story opportunity. Whereas if you had another building that was maybe 10 stories and you have a ladder up against that, it's a bigger opportunity. So sometimes it's not how hard you work. Like you could work so hard climbing those 3 stories, but you're only going to get to the 3rd story. Whereas sometimes, you know, you have a bigger goal that's worth working harder on and has a bigger opportunity. Even though you might not see any results in the short term, there's a bigger opportunity. So I don't know if that metaphor, you know, resonates with you at all, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Just wanted to share some lessons, turning 37, being in business for 12 plus years now. So just want to say thanks, everybody. Appreciate all the birthday wishes. Thanks for hanging out with me, and have a beautiful day. Much love. Bye.